Welcome to Type Talk by Tam Psych Advice. Today's topic is, are you afraid of boredom? Do you get bored easily? Are you the bored type? Yeah, there are certain people that I could classify as bored types. For example, borderline personality disorder. Those people experience chronic boredom. They feel empty inside because there's a disconnect from the person, from the self. They don't have an identity, and so they become impulsive and do all kinds of things. Check out my videos on that. People with narcissistic personality disorder also experience a deep sense of boredom. That's why some of them have to have an abundant amount of activities and things that they're doing all the time. They can push people past their breaking point of exhaustion because an idle mind attacks and tells them that they are worthless, that they are meaningless, that they are despicable, bottom of the pit pieces of people. And they don't want to have to face that self-attack, so they stay chronically busy and overwork those around them. Now, me as an ENFJ, I get bored occasionally, but I really don't understand that whole concept of boredom. It just doesn't, I don't connect with it because I feel like there are so many things to do, so much to explore, so much to learn. I can entertain myself. I don't get understimulated very easily. In fact, I'm often overstimulated. Now, if you count the mundane as boredom, then I do get tired of that. Like daily routines that you do over and over and over again every day, like cleaning up. I'd rather be doing something more meaningful than picking up things off the floor. Monotonous tasks like number crunching and calculating and figuring out tiny pieces of data, I have to find the energy and the strength to do that. I once listened in on a conversation between an ENTP and an INTJ, and they both talked about how they can't stand redundancy, that it just drives them nuts, like if there's a slogan that they have to say every day for work. I also have watched an ENFP and an ENTP in social gatherings, and it's funny how their minds will sort of drop off after a certain point. Just kind of watch their eyes just kind of glaze over after a few minutes of conversating with somebody, and then they move on to the next person, and then you see that same glaze fall over. It's hard to describe, but you should try to catch them in that act sometimes. There are some ENTPs who don't tolerate a daily mundane routine very well. It needs to be filled with activities, visiting people, seeing things, doing something other than going home and following the same routine every single day. Even if they have a family, they've got to be part of clubs, organizations, and numerous travel opportunities throughout the year. So boredom is a form of reduced physical and mental activity and fatigue. In fact, sometimes boredom can be the first sign of depression. So what's at the core of boredom? It's a monotonous life routine. That can become an issue for people who are retired. So boredom, just like anything else, has to be managed. It is associated with wandering attention, low levels of energy, which is often associated with fatigue, and reduced and impaired mental and physical ability. It's associated with a lack of stimulation or lower levels of interest or motivation. Some people may feel bored because of loneliness or because they don't want to take a chance and try anything new. So sometimes it means pushing past your comfort zone and figuring out ways to accommodate yourself in new events or new activities so that you feel as comfortable as possible. Some other bored types would be Enneagram 3, the doer or the achiever, who has to have a stream of endless activities that they participate in and work obligations. They're avoiding boredom at all costs. And also the adventurer, an Enneagram type, they tend to be associated with SP types on the Myers-Briggs personality. So SPs who are adventurers may have felt like they had a parent who was stifling or they didn't allow them to do much. So my advice would be, if you're always on the go, try taking some time to slow it down a little bit, spend some time with yourself, and see what that's like. You may discover some things about yourself that you aren't aware of. And then if you are bored because you're understimulated and you don't have enough to do, push yourself to do something new today. INFJs find it boring to have surface level conversations. They want to feel mentally or emotionally stimulated in whatever they do. They seek activities that stimulate their passions. INFPs, INFPs get bored with shallow, fruitless conversations. They like to keep their minds busy and excited. Too much of the same thing over and over will bore them. ENTJs. ENTJs like to stay busy and keep their minds going. They can get bored with an idle mind and not enough to do. INTPs. INTPs enjoy taking on a hobby or activity to keep themselves distracted. They get bored when there's nothing new to explore and when they're trapped in old thoughts. ESTJs. ESTJs become bored when they are forced to sit still. They want to keep busy and preoccupied with active chores and duties. And ISFPs. ISFPs want to make life enjoyable and fun. They get bored with too many routine activities, so much so that they may not finish them to completion. So let me know if you'd like to hear more videos like this one by giving me a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching Type Talk by Tam Psych Advice. Bye-bye.